Edward here from erviewer.com. I have another video for you. I'm continuing along with my working with the future, and again, this has always been a big interest of mine. I've done a lot of work in the past with ARV, associative remote viewing, trying to predict sports games, and not even just sports games, trying to work with future, trying to perceive things that would happen in the future, using not only remote viewing but also with dowsing, and just a lot of different things that I have tried over the years. The future, or working with time, is a huge interest of mine, and so the work that the Farsight Institute has been doing recently, I think it's called the Time Cross Project, I believe. Two of my favorite remote viewers who put their stuff out on display have the courage to do that. Dick Algeier and Daz Smith, two of my favorites. There are other viewers who are working that project with the Farsight. They're doing great work as well. But that inspired me to get back into working with the future, or working through time. So it rekindled my interest in it. I have some questions, my concerns about the state of the world, things that are happening in the world. I'm not interested in who wins the basketball game and all that kind of thing. I'm interested in real world things right now, and so I decided to attempt to do some associative remote viewing against some big questions that I have concerning the state of our world, and I'm keeping them within a time frame. I'm looking at the next 14 months. So this session was done yesterday, October 9th, 2016. So I'm looking 14 months into the future. I really am curious as to how the election coming up here in the United States will affect global politics and global events within the first year of that presidency. So I'm really looking at about the middle of December of 2017. That was the same thing with the last one that I did. But the question for this one was, will a nuclear bomb be detonated in an act of aggression against another country within the next 14 months? If the answer is yes, I will describe image A. If the answer is no, I will describe image B. So I'm looking at the use of a nuclear weapon being detonated in an act of aggression. So I'm not talking about North Korea doing another nuke test. So I'm not talking about a country doing a test of a nuclear weapon. I'm talking about an aggressive use of nuclear weapons against another country within the next 14 months. I asked my friend Dustin Newcomb again. Dustin is a fellow remote viewer. He lives in Houston, Texas. If he would assist me in this project again by selecting two targets for me, and he said that he would do that. This session again was done yesterday, October the 9th, 2016. The way that I set this up too, because again I'm working with the future, and so I want all aspects of it, as many aspects of it as I can, to be associated with working with the future. So I sent Dustin a text at maybe 10:30 in the morning or so, asking him if he would be able to select two targets for an ARV project for me. He said that he would. I did not know when he would select those or what he was doing yesterday, so I didn't know when he would actually select them. So I did the session not long after that. So this session was done probably between 11:30 and 12 noon yesterday, October 9th. So I did this session prior to the targets being selected. I did not let Dustin know that I had done the session. He did not know the question, and I asked him again if he would seal the images in envelopes and have somebody else label them A and B, so that he would not know what was A and which one was B as well. So I wanted to go through again, have another experiment again, where I could remote view a target before it was even selected. I sent Dustin a text at about 4 o'clock or so in the afternoon asking him if he had selected them. He had not. He said he was on his way home and he would get to it in a bit when he got home. He selected the targets at about 6:15 or so in the evening. Sent me a text saying that they were ready. I immediately sent him an image of my whiteboard session and asked him if it matched either one of the targets. He said that they did. I told him then that the session had been done hours previous, and if it was a match, could he videotape himself opening the envelopes, and he said he would do that, and this is him doing that now.
It is Sunday, October 9th. We are checking ARV session 5983 against the images that I've chosen. Here's Edward's session. Envelope A. This is a sculpture by Andrew Goldsworthy. Envelope B. Monster truck. We got dusty, dirty, air thick, metal, dented up, industrial, metal, on the ground. Reminds me of a mining trolley. And there is an image with 2 wheels. It's B.
So if I can go by the accuracy of this session, that what I was perceiving would correlates with the truck, then that answer is correlated with that image is correlated with or associated with the answer of no. So that does give me some peace of mind if an actual remote viewing did take place, in that I was able to obtain information about a future event that may or may not happen. If that was real, if it was true, then I have peace of mind that within the next 14 months we will not see. As precarious as the state of nations seems now, there's so much tension in the earth right now. On Earth right now, there's so much war going on. So that did give me some peace of mind that if that is true, we will not see a country use a nuclear weapon against another country in an act of aggression within the next 14 months. So I hope you find that interesting, and I'm gonna keep doing these different types of questions. I don't know, I may be focusing more on the Syria thing. I may move on to other things that are not so doomy, gloomy, but I hope you enjoy this, and many more to come. All right, 5983. Down, solid, hard, angular, inside, round, metallic. I'm getting an image here of like some kind of like a metal disc. Very early on, very early in the experience, I'll be getting visuals of that, something like that. But you never know. 5983. Deep, dense and earthy, heavy. I'm getting it reminds me of the ground. Yeah, the ground is solid, as opposed to like I'm flying in the air, on the ground, heavy, earthy. Five, 983. It's deep and heavy. It's the heaviness. It's the heavy. The heavy that I am. This is a sensation. This is like not just a dimensional sensation. This is a heavy. This is like a heavy thing. A heavy thing. It's an experience, though. It's an experience. Let me try to stay with this now. Heavy, weighty. I feel like I'm underneath something, and I can sense the heaviness of something, like a solid object. Let's see, heavy, solid object. That feels metallic. You know, I mean, I'm getting this idea. This is an idea here. Like I am under a train. You know, like I'm underneath a train. You know, that kind of, like that. Like a big, heavy, metallic object. And I'm underneath it. That's the heaviness, okay? So that's based on this sensation right here of something, the sensation of something heavy, like that. 5983. Inside tubular, large, hairy. Well, I see that H and it's reminding me of hairy. 5983. Angular, large, cold or cool. I'm getting a cold or a cool sensation of a temperature. Cold, cool, shadowed, you know, dim or dark, black, smooth, humid, angular again, across, you know, this is this kind of, I'm getting this idea of something like that, a shape like that, a shape like that. Across, you know, a metallic feel. A metallic feel to it. Let me experiment with this a little bit. I don't want to erase that yet. Let me experiment with this a little bit here. A metallic feel, because I'm getting this idea of like metal beams, but like a metal thing like that. And you know, would it be here as well? You know, is it like that? Is it like that? What about something like that? Let me just play around with this, see if something. That shape, see, it feels like there's just something more here. Yeah. Feels like there's something more here. I'm not too happy with that. I'm not too happy with that. I'm not too happy with that just yet. I need a different sensation here. Okay, we'll leave that where it is for now. And I'm not sure about this. That feels pretty... I'm drawn into that. This may be a little too elaborate for me. Maybe too elaborate for me right now to deal with. But let me come back to here. 5983. 5983. Curving. Got a random thought here. Or it could be unimpeded. Windows. Windows. Again, angular window. Vast but cool. Cool temperatures and cold. Cold. I'm even getting the idea here of frozen. Yeah, but it feels like it's cool to the touch, or I'm feeling cold. It's reminding me of that. 5983. 5983. Green. Blue. This is a random thought. Socket. Socket. That just popped into my mind. Socket. You know, like fitting things in. Fitting things in. 5983. 5983. Hang on a second. Getting distracted here. Getting distracted. I'm still contemplating my feeling on this here. Because I'm getting this idea. This is an idea, or this could be like considered like AOL of the signal. But it reminds me of like a mining bucket, or a mining trolley, I guess. The idea is like in like a coal mine or whatever, and they have those cars on their tracks and they fill up. It reminds me of that. That's kind of what I'm getting reminded of. But those kind of metal structures, those hard metal structures, you know, hard metal structures like that, you know, like that, like this. I'm not sure about this. I'm not convinced on that yet. But heavy, metallic. And this mining trolley thing, you know, like, you know, it's dusty and dirty. You know, the air is thick, kind of a thing. You know, an idea. Kind of dingy, or like maybe there's some, like maybe the metal has been beaten up a little bit. that kind of thing, you know, like it's dented. You know, this is kind of coming from this idea that here this big industrial. It has an industrial feel, like of use. I don't want to get too caught up in that, though. But, you know, is that in use? You know, but there's this feeling of on the ground or under the ground. That's the feel, because I'm getting this sensation that I'm inside, like a even if it might be inside the object, but like it's kind of tight quarters, not a lot of room inside. Man, I'm just getting this kind of this idea of like. Actually, let me do this kind of like. Yeah. Something like that. And it's got like open inside here. You know, kind of dented, you know, maybe a little bit here, dented, maybe some dents or something like that. And dented or beat up, or feels a little bit curved right here. I'm getting the idea, like that. Curved. You know, inside here. Inside there kind of a thing. Kind of like something like that. You know, metallic, metal and heavy. Anything else? There is this industrial feel, like it's in use or being used. In use, has been used or is being used. Heavy, metallic. Anything else? You know, but this, something about that. And it could be this here, something in this. It could be something in this here, like that. Some kind of pattern on that thing, like that. Yeah. Something like that. Still a cool feeling, or cold even. Alright, I think that if something actually happened here, if something actually took place, something real, there should be enough in here to identify if something real did happen. All right.